In studio with us, Jalen Pitre. Jalen, great to see you. How's it going?
It's going well, man. Back in football, so I'm extremely excited, and it's been fun so far.
Yeah. It's been fun indeed to see you guys out there doing it this time of year. Look, you've been in meetings and practices, and we have a lot to talk about because you're being honored. We're going to get to that in a moment. But tell us this, meetings this time of year. What are you guys covering this time of year in these meetings?
The basics, the fundamentals, everything that everybody sees when the season comes. But it's pretty simple. We're just learning the basics and making sure that we're mastering the fundamentals so that when, bullets get to flying, we're doing what we need to do.
All right, I'm going to ask you a question I know it probably hurts to talk about. How much did you miss it?
I missed it a lot. Like, I was still around, but it's different when you in the mix and you're playing. So, like I said, I'm really thankful and grateful to, be back out there with the guys just flying around and running around. It's nothing like it.
How much do you put into these OTAs and the mini camp practices where, hey, you can't really hit people, but you want to play or practice with some intensity? How do you handle that? How do you gauge that out there, Jalen?
Yeah, I think it's about taking every rep personal and making sure that you're getting something out of every rep because, like I said, these reps are going to, show up in December and late into the season when the playoffs come. So it's important that you do take them serious, but it's also a fine line there when you're competing against people with, shirts and T-shirts and you're not hitting people. So it's about making sure that you keeping your teammates, healthy as well, but also getting good work and making sure y'all flying around.
Jalen, did the staff and you find the secret sauce for you and find your spot that fits you maybe best at all, playing the nickel spot the way you did? I've talked about this. I watched you so many times at Baylor, and the closer you were to the line of scrimmage, man, you made every single play that you could make. You could blitz, you would sack guys, you would have TFLs. It felt like you were kind of playing that same way last year. You feel like you kind of found the secret sauce, like that's what I do, that's how I play, and that's where I'm most comfortable.
Yeah, I love it, but I wouldn't say I found the secret sauce. My coaches found it. They allowed me to be in that position and to do the things that, I think is catered to my, playing style. So I'm thankful that they put me in that position, and, I don't take it lightly and continue to, go out there and try to make plays for my teammates.
What do you make of this DB room, Jalen? Because there's some new faces, and there's some faces that have been around that have done some things in this league. It looks very strong top to bottom.
Oh, yeah, we got a lot of dogs in the defensive back room, like top to bottom, left to right. Everybody has their own different type of swag, different type of, like you said, sauce or whatever, but everybody makes plays and everybody, gets the job done. So thankful to be in that room with so many great guys and just be able to learn from them and just, pick their brains on different things that they see.
It just hit me. I was sitting there doing the math. This is going into your fourth year.
Yep.
You're a seasoned vet. You're like one of the older guys. I won't say old. You're one of the older guys in that room. You've always had a leadership quality, even dating back to your days as a rookie. But you feel like that's kind of grown these 4 years now that as you go into year number 4, like you've seen some things. You've been there. You've experienced highs. You've also experienced some things that you had to work through. How valuable has that been to your team? And you kind of feel that kind of leadership kind of growing in you in year 4?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I definitely see all of these years, piling up, and I'm just trying to do my best to, help out anybody that needs it. I know that when I have questions, I'm asking guys older and younger than me about what they think. So, I just want to be that helping hand as well, just to, give my knowledge and my input if they want it and, help out as needed.
All right, so Jalen, you are being honored by the city of Stafford here. Juneteenth celebration, June 15th. It's going to be amazing. You've done so much in the community, and let's start here. Last year, I know the injury was terrible, but off the field, you get nominated for Walter Payton Man of the Year. You are this franchise's nominee. What did that mean to you?
It meant the world to me. I take my job seriously on the field, but I also take my job serious off the field. So to be honored with a prestigious award like that and to be nominated for that, it was crazy. Like, it was low-key a couple tears. Like, I'm like, I'm honored for this. Like, the work that I do, people actually, see that. So, I'm thankful, and I understand that it does bring more light. So it's going to be more work that needs to be done. So, like I said, I was thankful, but also encouraged that, it's a lot more that needs to be done in the city, for sure.
We know that you would be doing what you're doing off the field and on the field, no matter where you were. But the fact that it's here, that it's Houston, that it's Stafford, that it's your home.
For sure.
Does it mean that much more to you that way?
It definitely does. Like you said, this is my crib, this is my home, and you have to take care of your crib. Like when we go home at night, we want to make sure our crib is nice and everything is taken care of. So, I see this the same way. I want to make sure that the kids that's coming behind me have the means to everything to, reach their goals and reach their full potential. So that's all I want to do. And there's a lot of people that help me. Shout out to them. And yeah, we're going to keep this thing moving and continue to improve on it.
Pitre Boys, boys with a Z, and it's pitreboys.com. And I've got the website up right here. It's very simple. Donate or request funds. You do so much for so many people, and you make it very simple as well. Tell us about Pitre Boys a little bit more.
Yes, that's all we try to do, make it simple. Like I said, it's a lot of kids in the Houston community as a whole. We work a lot with Stafford, but we also help with the Houston community as a whole with different basketball tournaments. We just sent some soccer balls to Africa with our church. Like, we do a lot of different things. So if you want to donate and help out and send funds to kids in needs, that's what we help with. And also, we have camps. If you want to come out and donate your time, you can do that. So time and money is huge. And if you don't want to do any of that, a prayer helps. So those three are the ways that, we try to give back and help people in need. And yeah, we're going to continue to do that and continue to get better at it for sure.
You just finished one of your camps. What's that like when you get that camp done? You see a kid walk up to you and hug you, and Coach Pitre, thank you. What's that like when you have that feeling when you're around kids and they're thanking you for having one heck of a camp?
Yeah, it's nothing like it, and it's like a full circle moment because I played on that field my whole life. I grew up in this community, so to see kids coming up looking like me, playing the same sport that I played, it's like, oh, that's me in a sense, So I'm just trying to help them out as much as I can, like I said, and inspire them. Even if it's not football, whatever they want to do, I want to let them know that they can do it and inspire them to, continue to push harder and understand that it's not going to be easy. Like just having those conversations with them. And that's what it was like this last week. And it was really fun to have that camp.
That's cool.
For kids who are great athletes and their parents listening right now, watching right now, Jalen, what's important for high school kids to keep in mind? We're in this NIL era. It's very different. We've talked about this a bit before with college athletics, and there's money out there, but you want the best for your future, the best education as well. What's important for young kids and their parents to remember as they navigate their way through their high school careers?
Yeah, that's a great question. And like you said, I'm a little bit removed from that because I didn't have to experience the whole NIL thing. But I think the theme that comes to my head when you said that is just never getting comfortable where you at. Yes, you might be getting a lot of money going into college, but you haven't did anything in college. So approaching that with a humble mindset is saying, I need to establish myself. I need to continue to learn. And then when you get to that top spot in college, like, it's a next step in that too. Like, how can I help my teammates get better? How can I, inspire my teammates to also have that mindset that I'm the best? Like, so everybody is uplifted. And then it's the next step, going into college. But wherever you at, just I think it's about not getting too comfortable and not getting too full of yourself, because God has a way of humbling us and bringing us back to that middle ground where I think we all should be to thrive in whatever we're doing.
I think it's interesting to hear you talk about that, because you and I have talked about this a little bit. I get texts from my buddies that went to Baylor all the time, and they always remind me. The last text will say, hey, what are you doing? You on golf or whatever? And, hey, by the way, Jalen Pitre's, one of our favorites of all time. Mm-hmm. And I often ask them, why is that? And they're like, man, when things are going sideways, he stayed. And as Mark was asked that question, the first thing that popped in my head was adversity. You had adversity there at Baylor, whether it was not playing early on, not successful, you had players leaving, but you stayed. You went through it. How big a lesson do you think that is for guys that come into this locker room that you can share with them? Like, hey, even though things might get tough early on, we stick together, we get across this adversity, we might get to where we want to go. How big is that lesson? I know you don't walk around the locker room sharing that lesson, but when it comes up, I'm sure it's one that I think probably a lot of players would need to hear.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, like you said, a lot of players, for the most part, understand that, because in sports, there's a lot of adversity. It's a lot of injuries. It's a lot of different things, different avenues that they can see adversity as. I think it's, like you said, just about reminding people, like, we might be going through a hard time right now, but when we come out of it, just imagine how much stronger we're going to be mentally and physically if it's an injury, if it's a little bit of a setback. You know what I'm saying? So just reminders here and there, and just having that open mindset in the locker room to, lend a helping hand. Hey, bro, you going through this right now, but I promise you when you come out of it, you're going to know how to do this 10 times better, 10 times faster. And that's going to help us as a team, help you as a person in the long run. So I think it's just about reminding each other because we've all been through similar things.
Yep. Couple more quick ones from me, Jalen. Receivers, you're seeing a lot of them, of course. So tell us about them a little bit because we've got some new faces and some guys who have been around. It's kind of like the DBs. Got some new faces, some guys who have been around, but obviously led by Nico, who's tremendous. Got the rookies out there. Kirk joins the team. A lot of different looks out there you're getting from these receivers.
Oh, yeah, a lot of different, I would like to say flavors, a lot of different styles, a lot of different builds. But, you know, it's a competitive group. They show up every day ready to work, and it's always exciting to go against them. You can't show up, you know, sleepy or like half awake because they gonna embarrass you. And, yeah, nobody wants that out there, especially, you know, with the trash talking and stuff that we do in practice. So, yeah, it's a pretty lit group and a talented group overall for sure.
Okay, I got to ask you about Monday night. I don't know that we've had a chance to talk about this. Being from Houston, playing at Dallas on Monday night, and then you make that play. First of all, you're disappointed that you didn't pick up the ball and Derek did. Secondly, take us through that play and what did you see and how did you make it happen?
Yeah, I was just basically playing my technique, and DB made a great play, strip sack, and the lineman picked up the ball, and I'm like, oh, I got to go tackle him. And then when I tackled him, I was like, oh, the ball close, so I tried to punch it out. And then, you know, DB was right there again. So God blessed him again with the scoop and score.
Again.
So yeah, big shout out to DB though, because that I wouldn't have got my strip if he didn't get his first strip. So big shout out to him. And yeah, that's basically what happened. But it was definitely a big moment because I don't think I've ever hit a lineman like that ever in my life, like with the ball in his hand.
You've hit people before like that, just maybe not a lineman with the ball in his hands like that. The fact that it was Dallas. And obviously you play for Houston. You're from Houston. Did it matter that much more?
It definitely adds a little bit to it, knowing that, you know, I'm from Houston and I got some, you know, Dallas friends and some people, even in the Houston community that love Dallas so much. But y'all know how we rocking on this side. So, yeah, it definitely made it a little bit more special.
One more. When people ask you, what's this offense going to look like? Nick Haley, the new offensive coordinator, what can you tell us about what the offense might look like?
I would say fast and explosive. You know, that's what I've seen so far. They've been, you know, on it in terms of everything that they're doing. So, you know, I'm excited. You know, they have a lot of playmakers, like I mentioned, and definitely a great quarterback. So I'm excited about what the future holds for them.
Very cool. Jalen, congratulations on being honored by Stafford for Juneteenth on June 15th. Looking forward to that. Thanks a lot for joining us.
Yep, appreciate y'all.